see how we can make bigger enemies. So you've become like the sort of Tony Scarface of podcasting.
Which Tim Hortons did you get this from, George?
The one where we always go.
Is it the Esso? Yes, we're live.
No S.
Which one?
The one next to the burger joint there. The cans. What's it called?
That one's terrible, bro. I never go to that one.
I always go there, and it's excellent.
Sorry about your free coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. I'm gonna go blast them. I'm gonna walk in like I own the place.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the morning show. Happy Wednesday to you. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. We love you. Have you gone over to patreon.com/Pantelis yet? If not, do so and find yourself a nice little plan that suits your needs. Just a bunch of content coming out of there. And you should also subscribe to this channel here if you haven't done so already. Pantelis Comedy. You can follow Poseidon, who's complaining about free coffee.
Seriously.
I'm not complaining about the free coffee. I'm complaining about the way they pour it.
I am Poseidon.com and the Poseidon69 on all social media platforms. And I'm sure you have already, but if you haven't, you can check out Standing By, the Terry and Ted podcast on this here channel. Speaking of which, we have the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Ted Bird.
Speaking.
How's it going?
I'm good, thanks. Can I clarify that I'm not dying?
People think you're dying.
Yeah.
No
'Cause
way.
I was talking about last week about getting those melanoma spots cut out of me.
Yeah.
So, and I guess they're sending them for a biopsy, right? But the doctor didn't seem too concerned, so I'm not too concerned.
Yeah.
And I've already had cancer of the ass. So I'm really not frightened by skin cancer, okay? I had a tumor in my arsehole. So a little bit of melanoma, and I don't think that I have it. I think that I get the feeling it's pretty routine these days. They find a spot on you, they cut it out just to be safe. That's what they did with me.
And if we're being honest, ass cancer is the best kind of cancer.
Is it?
Yeah,
Well,
it
you
gives
go
you
to the doctor and he shoves stuff up your ass.
Yeah,
So if you like that, it's great.
Yeah, it gives you a valid excuse. It's like having your legs cut off. No one can call you lazy.
So we were talking about that last week anyway, and a few people messaged me and said, thoughts and prayers are with you, and fuck cancer and stay strong. And I was like, I'm not dying.
But you know what the crazy thing is, though? You know what the crazy thing is? It's so common these days for everyone to be either diagnosed with cancer or knowing someone that just died of cancer or whatever. Immediately, as soon as you say, "Oh man, I have a sickness," their mind goes straight to that.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
go straight. It's automatic. It's like, oh yeah, he's in the hospital. You get one of those.
Yeah.
No, it's like, dude, can I tell you first what it is? It's just a niche in my ass. Relax. So yeah, happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
It's true.
It's February the 14th. It's Valentine's
What do you mean?
Day.
Oh, yeah, it's true. Don't you have a girlfriend? Don't
Yes,
you?
I do. Yes, but here's the thing: because I don't like people, so I don't want to go to a restaurant when it's crowded for Valentine's. I want to do it before.
I never did that either, man. I used to go either after or before. Because you know that today is going to be psychotic, the restaurants.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
sure.
And I think even this weekend, even more so.
Exactly.
So the best would have been to go last weekend.
Well, I did
That's it.
Friday. I did last Friday. I went to Burlington. We went to Olive Garden. We had a good time. It was romantic. We held hands, and it was nice.
If you're with someone that appreciates that and does, like if you're not with someone that absolutely adamantly wants to go out on the 14th because that's when it's Valentine's Day, then yeah, go the weekend before or go the weekend after, and it's you're still celebrating it.
Also, if you want to make a good and positive impression on a woman, don't wait till for Valentine's Day. Send them a dozen roses on a nondescript weekday in
Just
November.
randomly.
Yeah, out of the blue. That makes a way better impression than Valentine's Day. Because on Valentine's Day, that's almost like mailing it in. You know, it's like, Valentine's Day. Here's a dozen roses. Here's some cookies.
I love you, by the way.
Yeah, here's some lingerie.
I know the rest of the year I beat the shit out of you, but that's not the.
Today is what matters. It's today. Here, I love you. These flowers are proof.
I know a girl, speaking of that, I know a girl who's really, really hot, and she could kick the shit out of any one of the three of us. Probably maybe the three of us all at once.
For some reason, that's always a bigger turn on.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to mention her by name because she's gone to court for beating the shit out of ex-boyfriends. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, well, I know her from AA.
Fuck, I'm so hard right now.
She's in recovery now. She's really good. She's got several years of sobriety under her belt. She's really solid. But, she used to get liquored and kick the fucking shit
Of grown men. Wow.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if she doesn't like the flowers you get around Valentine's Day? You're all happy. You go home with chocolates and flowers.
And did she? But hold on, let's be honest. Did she beat the shit out of like little men or like larger men?
No, big guys. Big.
No, that's impressive.
Yeah, because she's not the type who would date a wimpy little guy. She likes men. I'm actually playing Yenta. I'm playing matchmaker with her because she's young enough to be my daughter. So I'm not going to chase her around. So I'm trying to set her up with a buddy of mine who's the same age as her, and he's a hockey player. He fucking plows snow. He worked on oil rigs. Like, he's a man's man, you know?
He can take a punch.
Yeah, like I'd fuck him. So I'm trying to set them up, and he said to me at one point, "Do you think she could beat the shit out of me?" I said, "I don't know." I said, "You could probably take her, Zach, but you wouldn't come out of it unscathed."
I'm so bricked up right now. It's crazy.
No, but here's the thing. Coming from a father that has daughters, I wish my daughters will be able to defend themselves this way.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you don't want women to have that as a characteristic, right?
No, but it is like Poseidon was saying, it is kind of hot. Like, I worked in Ganawage for a couple of years, and there are more than a few women over there who are Marine Corps veterans. Like, they served in the Marine Corps, yeah. And, one of them was like a hand-to-hand combat instructor. There was another one who interned at the radio station for a little bit, like stunningly beautiful, just gorgeous. And the idea of her being able not only to kill me with her bare hands, but take me out with a single shot from 500 yards, that's fucking hot, man.
I don't know how hot that is, dude. That's scary. You have nowhere to go. Yeah. You're up close, she kills you. You're far away, she fucking shoots you down.
You shoot on her face only so she can shoot you in the face.
And then Poseidon took it too far again. Every single time.
So you already had your plans for Valentine's Day. You guys went down.
We went Burlington. Olive Garden, bro. Because last time,
Olive Garden, hey, big spender.
It's actually not, bro. It's actually cheaper to eat at Olive Garden in the U.S.
I know, I'm being facetious.
Oh, okay.
Never been
cheap,
but last time I went, no, because we like it. Last time I went, I couldn't eat bread and shit, so I ordered. What did I order? This grilled chicken with broccoli, like a homosexual. And
homos are known for their love of broccoli
and grilled chicken.
And this time, I wasn't on a diet. Bro, I had
So you went stupid on the bread.
Bro, I had 6 breadsticks. I didn't even realize.
Is that where they have unlimited bread?
Yes. breadsticks.
Oh, breadsticks.
And you know what they remind me of? The Pizza Hut
Penises.
breadsticks. Well, that's for you, sir.
You spend too much time with him. You're starting to sound like him now.
A little sesame dick.
Sesame dick.
What does it remind you of?
It sounds like somebody that has AIDS. Sesame dick. He's got that sesame dick. Or he's just really into Jews.
What were you saying? It reminds you of something.
I'm sorry.
He's cracking himself up over there.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Hey.
But it was good. Yeah. I'm going to stop with my stupidity because it's getting too much.
That's nice.
Yeah. It was fun. It was a good time.
I have no idea what we're doing. I never know what we're doing.
Ted's fed up.
No, I'm not actually.
Okay,
I'm just sitting here thinking about, how do we segue into a serious topic? Olive stick dicks and breadstick dicks at Olive Garden and homos like broccoli and.
You guys did you guys watch the Super Bowl?
Of course.
On the weekend?
Yeah. Yeah.
And?
Loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it.
I missed a little bit in the middle there, but I saw the start. I caught the ending. I missed about 10 minutes there in the middle of the game there, but I thought it was an exciting game. And I'm not a big football. Honestly, I watch one football game a year, maybe if I have company and stuff, and that's obviously the Super Bowl. It was very enjoyable. I love it. And, usually people think, it's Super Bowl, man. We want to see touchdowns and they want a high-scoring game. It wasn't that much of a high-scoring game, but it was so good.
It was an excellent game, very competitive. And there's nothing wrong with good defense. I find watching good defense entertaining.
See, again, I haven't watched any games during the season. I was really impressed with San Francisco. These guys, they were a wall.
Yeah, well, San Francisco, they dominated the first half, and I knew they were in trouble because they dominated the first half, but they were only up by a touchdown at halftime, and I thought that's not good. That's not good. They should be up by more than that. And but the game was rigged anyway. You know that, eh? It was.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I love these.
Yeah. They're all the conspiracy theorists are saying that the game was rigged because they wanted Kansas City to win because Taylor Swift is dating one of the Chiefs players, and she is publicly endorsing Joe Biden for president.
Right.
So for the Chiefs to win, that works in Biden's favor in the upcoming U.S. election. How fucking stupid is that, eh?
But that happens with everything, and there's so many formulas that could be worked in there, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's rigged because they want to have that 3 in a row kind of thing or whatever. Is it 2 or 3 in a row that they win?
I think it's 2 in a row and 3 of the last 4
Right.
they've won now. But I mean, you just have to watch to know that it is as obviously not rigged and choreographed as professional wrestling is.
Exactly. But here's the other thing, and I could be completely off because we've seen and heard stories about betting and refs calling plays, and they're kind of in on it. But if you are playing high-level sports, whether it's hockey, even soccer, football, and you make it to that final game, I don't care what you tell me. These guys, they cannot be bought off.
No,
maybe
they can't be unless they're deeply in debt or their families have been kidnapped. And someone has said, if you don't fucking throw this, we're going to kill your family. That's the only way it's going to happen.
Maybe I'm too innocent or gullible or whatever, but it's difficult for me to imagine that you work your entire life, you make it to that game, and you're like, you know what? I'm getting whatever amount of money. Let's fucking throw this pitch.
Now, at that level, those guys are so competitive, and have so much professional pride. And beyond that, it would be obvious to the discerning fan, and there are lots of discerning football fans out there, just like there are lots of discerning soccer fans all across Europe and South America and Asia, and increasingly here. Hockey fans here would know if a game was fixed. They'd be sitting there and they'd be watching and they go, wait a fucking minute. They'd know. You would know.
Yeah.
It would be obvious.
But that's a little bit easier, I find, with hockey because, one penalty, like in the last 5 minutes, like a major penalty or even like a regular penalty, you're one man short. It could change the entire fucking game, right?
In soccer, it's rampant, especially in Europe or the Balkans, I would say. From what I've heard, this is coming from Pantelis.
Fixed
by the way.
matches, yes. I have heard a lot more about it in soccer than I have in North American
But it just feels like for
professional sports.
football, it's so. I don't know, man. Like, how do you rig a football game?
I don't know.
Like the guy throws the fucking ball. I mean, it's so hard. And even a penalty in football, whatever, you lose 5 yards, whatever.
Yeah, I think as football,
You can make it up, no, with a play. Like hockey, you can get fucked.
Yeah.
Like there's 3 minutes left in the game, and you know you're down by 1 point, and you give a penalty to the other team. And there are 4 players. You have the advantage. Chances are that in those 3 minutes you can make the difference. You can tie the game and bring it to overtime or whatever.
I think in
soccer too, it could be easily rigged. Like I can call a fucking penalty last minute and
Foul,
destroy you, or
penalty,
a foul, or prolong the game longer than he should. We've seen that.
I think in the NFL, it's too like the sport is too chess-like in order to rig it. Like you could probably still rig some matches, but it would be incredibly difficult with the type of rules.
I mean,
that
I don't
they have.
see it. I don't know. I don't see
I
it.
just think it would be too obvious to everybody.
Yeah.
It would be obvious to me.
What about the halftime show? Did you enjoy it?
I didn't really watch that much of it. I was at a party, so I took that opportunity to talk to some of the other people at the party. But I saw Usher take his blouse off.
Pretty fucking sick body there for a 50-year-old. How old is he?
How turned on were you?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I don't know. I wasn't. I didn't see it. I just heard about it afterwards. And he roller skated too.
Yeah,
apparently, eh?
that impressed the shit out of me.
How do you do that without falling on your fucking head?
No. He
Oh,
didn't
wow.
only roller skate. He choreographed on roller skates.
Yeah, he wasn't just going around with the arms going, whoa,
No. This guy had a whole routine on roller skates.
Shit,
Like, what the fuck?
I didn't even notice. I was distracted.
Yeah. And it was pretty cool. It was. I mean, look, this guy. I've heard from people that have actually gone to his shows. This guy puts on one sick concert. You go to an Usher concert, you're getting your money's worth.
What's his genre? Is it R&B?
Yeah, R&B.
R&B
You
pop.
probably know this.
R&B pop,
I
yeah.
don't have more in pop because R&B has changed
He's
significantly.
not hip hop, eh?
No,
He's not hip hop.
no.
No, he's not hip hop. But I mean,
He hips and he hops, but he's not hip
That's
hop.
not his genre. Gotcha.
but like rhythm and blues isn't that? I mean, it's changed right over the years.
it's not Motown what he does. It's not Motown style R&B.
because that's real R&B, right?
Yeah.
Did you guys see the freak out with Alicia Keys and them hugging?
Bro, it's a fucking show, man. That's what Usher is. Usher, and I'm not a fan. Like from what I've seen, he's a very sensual guy. He's very much into that's his style, And I'm sure it's all choreographed. They've known before. Okay, I'm gonna come this way. I'm gonna hug you. I'm gonna do this. Nobody gives a shit, man. Like everyone just makes it.
People were.
Yeah, because he was very touchy and very close to her. But
Okay.
that's Usher's style. That's
And
what
she
he
has
is.
a husband and he's married, and people were
Yeah,
upset.
so what?
Well, like George says, though, it's a show.
It's a show.
Yeah,
It's a show.
yeah, but I think what I think is happening to the world.
But also, it's your staple, right? That's the kind of
Yes.
performer you are. You're a sensual guy. You sing sexy songs,
Yes.
Much like yourself, Poseidon.
I'm sexual, not sensual. There's a difference.
Wait a minute. What was it you said before we went on?
Oh, I'm not a homosexual. I'm a homosensual. I just like to feel gay. What was I saying?
We were talking about Usher, the
Usher.
hugging.
Yeah. So what I think is happening to the world right now, this is in my opinion, but keep in mind that I am mentally handicapped
And a homosexual.
and a homosexual. So don't take anything I say seriously. What I think is happening is for the past 20 years, we've had just debauchery in society. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Debauchery, people cheating, this, that, just complete mayhem and craziness.
I think that's always happened. It's just
Hold
that we
on.
have more access to
Everyone
information
fucking
now.
Because of
everyone-
the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always been happening, but a little more behind closed doors. And now it's because it used to be the underbelly of society, but now it's become part of society.
mainstream.
Now it's mainstream, right? What I think is happening to people is they're seeing this and they're getting turned off because it's too much, if we're being honest. And it's making people a little more conservative. So even for things like this, where it's part of the show and they're performers, and even though there's nothing to it because they're performers, people freak out now because we've normalized it too much, and it's pushed certain people to a little more on the conservative end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is what I think. Because there was a meltdown on TikTok over this.
Well, people are looking for things to melt down over too. People love
There's
to
that
complain.
too. There's that
and
as
now
well.
people are able to complain because you're on social media. You can complain on one of any or more than one of any a number of platforms.
But it's just crazy. And honestly, the whole scene lasted what, 5 seconds? Not even.
I didn't see it. So they were just like sort of in a sensual embrace, or
They were both singing, and at some point he just came behind her, hugged her, and he kind of he cuddled her. You know what I mean?
So not as bad as when Buddy tweaked Miley Cyrus.
Oh yeah.
You remember that?
You
remember that? Yeah, that was over the top.
way worse. Yeah.
And what they're saying is because she was running away from him.
It didn't look that. It didn't look.
They're saying that she didn't want to initially, but he kept chasing her and blah blah blah. So like she didn't want.
No, dude,
Here, I have the video for you, Ted, so you understand.
I mean, look.
Los contextos.
Look, everything is choreographed. I mean, you don't do the Super Bowl thinking, we'll just.
Hang on, I want to watch the car commercial.
Yeah.
We have no choice.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Sekisa.
Energy flows. That's all you need to know.
You don't go into the Super Bowl thinking, we'll just.
Hold on.
Off the cuff kind of thing. No, man. It's like you choreograph the whole thing.
We might get taken down though. So
Yeah.
So this is the video at the Super Bowl. So he's running around, she's singing, and he's trying to grab onto her. And they're saying she didn't. Motherfucker! This is the.
It's okay. Well,
I get the idea.
Yeah. So she didn't.
no.
Yeah. So
look, everything is choreographed. They know what they're doing.
this is so annoying. I just want.
So what?
This is so stupid. And it's.
What's their real life relationship? Do we know? Are they friends?
Yeah. They've performed together in the past. I mean, they know each other.
Yeah, that's not a big.
And I
Let me
love
find one
man.
that's
She's
fucking
talented as hell.
Maybe if I go to Reels.
I mean, look at that. They take
Shorts.
a picture there. Yeah.
It's just people looking
this
for
is a-
shit
this is
to
a- this is a-
complain about.
So I don't know how long this is. So yeah, apparently it was chasing her around and everything.
So what happens? We get flagged for watching this?
No. This is on YouTube. This is actually on YouTube. It's a short. So if we get flagged for this, it's bullshit.
Oh.
So yeah.
As we get the point. I think it's choreographed. I don't think
Yeah,
there's an
I
issue
do.
there.
Yeah.
They're both performers. This is what they get paid to do. Fucking, and that's it. People. But tell me one halftime show.
Is this what we're talking about here?
No. There's another one after where he goes behind her and he hugs her.
Yeah, she keeps telling him to back off.
But this is the part.
But she looks
part of the
fine,
song
bro.
too. I don't even know the lyrics. Maybe it's all part of the show. It's.
Red's her color, man. It looks good on her.
Yeah. You can see the outline of her foo-foo.
Hey.
I love Alicia Keys.
You love her?
Like
How dare you?
Yeah, this part here.
Yeah, that was it.
Big
That's the
deal.
hug.
Big deal. So apparently there was also a big stink about Taylor Swift chugging a beer. Did you see that? Where she chugged
she was,
a beer?
even that.
Again,
her boyfriend
yeah.
is playing at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Let her have fun, man. She's allowed to fucking drink. She's human. She's allowed.
Yeah,
she can't take a shot
That's
of.
what people do at parties. They chug beers or
Have
do
you ever-
shots.
You've been to a football game.
Yeah.
Come on, man. She's just a normal person enjoying a football game. That's what happens at a football game.
Yeah.
People get stupid drunk. I had gone once. We went. We were. How many guys were we? I think we were 8 guys. We drove down to New York. We saw the Jets. Yeah. Homosexuals. We drove down. It was for the weekend. It was really fun. Can't even remember the game. I know it was the Jets versus I don't know who. I don't remember the game at all. I don't remember the game.
Why? Because you get hammered?
Oh my God! Fuck. We went like I don't know how many hours before at the tailgating thing.
Yeah.
People take that, I think, more seriously than the games.
Yeah.
Holy
tailgating
shit,
is a big
dude,
deal
these-
in NFL games.
Yeah, these cars that they've, souped up, and this guy pulls up. The whole thing in the back was a barbecue. It was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck, dude? Really fun. So yeah, I don't remember anything. I don't remember the whole nothing.
Wait, what tailgating? You mean like when somebody follows you from closely behind?
Tailgates? Tailgates is
Parties in the parking lot
Yeah.
before the football game, like hours before the football game. They set up barbecues. They got coolers
Really?
full of
Oh, man,
beer.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Everybody
Wow.
goes,
It's a
they
big
set
party.
up.
It's a tradition.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like it. I like it when people come together like that and eat.
Yeah.
Dude, it's amazing. Everyone has their own thing with a bunch of cars next to us.
Wow.
We were sharing food. Like, oh, let me try your sausage. Oh, dude, this looks... And it was fucking
How come I've
drinking.
never went to a Super Bowl? This sounds
You should,
amazing.
man. You should.
You don't have to go to a Super Bowl. Just go to an NFL game.
They do it even for regular NFL games?
Every game.
I didn't go to Super Bowl.
Every game.
No,
Every
it was
game,
a
every
game.
stadium.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you could just join in
Dude,
on
you can
anyone's
just
barbecue
go,
and be like,
you can just go and not go to the game.
no way.
Just drive up. Because you don't need the tickets to get into the parking lot, do you? No, you need the...
I think so,
No.
no.
Pull up into the parking
Yeah.
lot, set up a little barbecue, and then just wait and have
No,
fun with
I would
everyone
go to
else.
other people's barbecues and hand them money for eating their food. That's
I don't know about that. They might think, who's this fucking
Dude,
guy?
you're gonna lose your mind. It's like entire vehicles transformed into
the barbecues.
Yeah.
It's the best of both worlds.
Yeah, they take it way too seriously, man.
All you're missing is a stripper pole and you're good to go.
Well, maybe that's what you should do. You should show up with a stripper pole and
My contribution to this tailgate party.
your blouse off.
Yeah, no, but it was fun. It was fun. I'd love to go watch a soccer game in Europe, like in England or something. Apparently, that is really something to.
I'm sure it is,
experience.
but I think there's probably more chance of getting into a fight.
Yeah.
Like I think that's more violent or potential. There's more potential.
I mean,
for
if you're
violence.
looking for it, you're probably going to get. But I mean,
Yeah, but other people might be looking for it too. Like you might show up wearing the wrong shirt or hat.
you don't
at the
wear
wrong,
anything. You don't go wearing colors, man. Just
Yeah.
go to enjoy the game. Like you look at these English Premier League games. I mean, there's how many people? 50,000 people in there.
Yeah.
30, 40,000 people.
Have you guys seen hooligans brawling it out in the middle of the street?
Yeah.
They
When I was living in Greece, there was this huge soccer match. It was between the two main parties, Olympiacos and Panathinaikos, and the two rivals. Everything was planned in advance. After the game, they went into the street and an actual like off the stadium somewhere in like a residential street. And in Greece, they have the huge garbage bins. They're huge and they're usually on the corners or sometimes in the middle of the street. And they rolled those things in the middle of both streets so no cars can come back. And they just destroyed themselves.
yeah, like this is the
Fighting
kind of
each
shit-
other?
Yeah. It was like fucking two
Look,
groups
Ted.
of 20 each.
Look.
Is this it?
Yeah, this is in.
It's not the one I won, but
this
it's
is in the
probably
same
similar to
Sort
that.
of thing.
Yeah, it's like a
So this is what they do. They each team on each side, and they just look at that
Jesus.
classic battle royale. Look at that.
They're fucking so stupid.
This is amazing.
Look at that guy in the middle, man.
Like I can understand Brits doing that because they're notorious for it, but I had no idea that the
there's
Greeks
worse.
would do it.
Oh yeah,
Greeks, all kinds.
But they're not
yeah.
that bad. I mean, there's other like
Anything soccer related. Look at this guy. Look at the chubby
There's a
guy.
couple of guys are down, eh? Like they're fucking down and they're
out.
not getting up.
They're down. Yeah.
That's crazy.
No, but
I'm not gonna lie. This kind of looks like fun.
I think the Reds won.
Yeah, they won.
I think it's pretty clear.
The chubby guy had goalie gloves.
But no, the worst ones are in the Balkans. Like
Well, they hate each other to begin with.
holy shit.
Like there's ethnic hatred.
Yeah.
Imagine
In the
you have a
Balkans.
car payment on this car, and these assholes are just fucking.
The guy's wearing a mouthpiece too. He's wearing a fucking mouth guard.
They're just going at it.
Yeah.
The Reds won. I think it should end at this point. Okay, we won.
Yeah, the Reds are winning. Look at you can see the way that it's moving, eh? They're
Yeah.
fucking driving them back.
Like imagine you go home now. What happened, son? Oh, we got clobbered.
Yeah. Went to the soccer fights.
Well, this guy's bleeding. You saw that?
Yeah.
He busted his face. Yeah, we won.
Yeah.
Ah,
Get over
damn.
there, buddy.
Like I've never understood fanatics. Like I get you like a team, you like the sport, but to the point where you're gonna go beat the other people that are against you.
So, here's the thing. I have looked into this by mistake. Actually, I was curious. And when your let's say you have a team that you're a fan of, it's been proven that if your team wins and you're a fan of it, every time they win or they do something good and you're happy for them, your testosterone levels rise. So it's a direct liaison of just men being men. This is just like they feel good after. You know what I mean? Because their team, let's say their team won the soccer game and now they win the fight, it's just basically boosted their testosterone. They feel better about themselves.
Yeah.
So I think that's why some dudes become so obsessed.
I think it takes a little bit something extra to actually take it to that level. I mean,
you have to be a little bit dumb, but that's
like,
besides
I get
the
you
point.
get frustrated like when your team loses, and you get really happy when they win, and like this fucking euphoric feeling. But to go from that to let's go to the streets and pound the fuck out of each other, there's like a mental retardation factor there.
What year did Greece win Euro? 2004?
4.
Yeah. How old were you?
I don't know, 23.
Okay, but you would have only been like 11.
I was
2004?
10 actually.
Yeah.
I was 10. I remember it. I was waving the flag in the streets. We had
Yeah, you guys must have gone nuts, did you?
Yeah.
It was amazing.
I was hanging out of my mom's sunroof.
It was amazing.
Or somebody else's sunroof.
We drove. I remember we all hopped in our cars, and it was crazy. It was hundreds of cars.
People were
We
honking.
left from Park X. We drove all the way to Little Burgundy, where the Portuguese people are on St. Lawrence.
Is that who they played in the final?
Yeah. They played him twice during the tournament. They played him in the first stages. They beat them.
You weren't going looking for a fight, were you?
No, but it was all for fun.
wanted to rub it in?
Yeah, we drove by St. Lawrence, and then we came back to Park X, and it was just chaos.
Yeah,
It was
burnouts
chaos.
in
It
the
was
street.
amazing.
There was smoke
Laval
everywhere.
too but Montreal was nicer. We drove up to Laval as well, but it wasn't like in Montreal. Yeah. Us, it was just there was really nothing happening. We just drove by honking, and they
Right.
were there. They were fucking pulling the finger, boo. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the Portuguese guys had a sex doll, and he had drawn the Greek flag, and he was, and I was like, dude, we fucked
Yeah,
you. What are you talking
seriously,
about?
yeah,
Twice. You know?
Nice
That's
try,
such
buddy. Nice
That's
try.
such a weird thing to do.
No, but it was fun. It was fun. The sad thing, though, and I can't remember if it was after the final or if it was after the first game that Greece won, they vandalized.
I think they beat us the first game.
No, we won both games.
Oh.
Yeah, Greece won both games. They vandalized Park Athena. There's a statue of the goddess Athena there in Park X. Right across Village Grec, for those who are looking for the reference. And they, I guess in the middle of the night, they went and they painted the whole statue in green, which was stupid. It's like, well, why would you vandalize that? But other than that, I don't think I saw
so
anything.
stupid, like you
But
said.
that was fun.
Was Cristiano Ronaldo playing for Portugal then?
Yeah.
You ever see the video of him? He's in a public square. It might be in Portugal. It might be in Spain.
Is that where he's disguised?
He's disguised
Yeah,
as like
I've seen it.
sort of an old homeless looking dude.
Yeah.
And he's fucking around
What?
with a soccer ball, and then he starts to play with a kid with the soccer
I've
ball.
seen it.
And increasingly, he starts to display his real life soccer skills. And so people are kind of stopping at this point, and they're looking at him like, what the fuck, man? Yeah. What's going on with this guy? And then at the end, I don't know if he takes off his wig or whatever, but he reveals that it's him. And it's really cool to watch. And the kid he's playing with, of course, is fucking blown away, right? He's all of a sudden, holy fuck, man.
That was Ronaldo. yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, there's a few of those. There's a couple of football ones too. Jared Goff, who plays quarterback for he was with the Rams at the time. Now he's
In
with
Italy.
the Detroit Lions. Was it in Italy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jared Goff goes and he tries out for a college, like a tier 3 college football team. And he disguises himself, and the other players don't know who it is. And all of a sudden, he's firing these fucking bombs, right? And they're like, who the fuck is this guy? Yeah, there he is. Yeah. Yeah, and people are starting to. Is this the one?
I think so. Yeah, he's in
Yeah?
the square. Yeah.
Is that Ronaldo?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And they're just talking and blah, blah, blah. Hold on, let's fast forward a bit.
Yeah. I don't know if people have caught on to the fact that this guy knows what he's doing, but I don't know if they've caught on to the fact yet that it's Cristiano Ronaldo.
Let's see. Does he reveal himself at the end?
Yeah.
Let's go where.
Yeah, but I don't know. This isn't the same. I don't think this is the same
No?
video that I saw. I think this is a different one. Yeah, you see,
Oh,
at
yeah,
that
now
point
they
they know
know,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, now they know it's him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the one I saw was shot more from a distance,
Okay.
and there was one specific kid that he was playing with, and it was yeah. Anyway, both of them are very cool.
That's
It's
cool.
it's
That's
cool.
fine.
Yeah.
There's something wholesome about this. I don't know.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I thought that kid was carrying a gun for a second.
Fuck Ronaldo.
I'm taking out Ronaldo.
Oh, man. What are we talking about, guys? Can we address, and you're probably the right person to talk to about this, what's happening over at Bell Media?
Oh, fuck.
Jesus Christ, what a mess.
Yeah.
What a fucking mess. For those that haven't followed, Bell Media announced, was it this week or late last week, that they were fired.
Last week,
it was
I
late
believe,
last week. It was over 4,000
Laying
people.
off 4,800 people, 9% of their workforce, and selling, I think, getting rid of 45 radio stations or selling half of their 45, selling a shitload of radio stations anyway, mostly middle, or not mostly, all medium and small market stadiums.
Yeah, like little regional stations
Yeah,
and
because
stuff.
they say the business model is no longer viable. And Terry DeMonte had a great tweet about that.
So is radio dead, basically? Like,
But companies like Bell, who don't know how to fucking run radio because they're not broadcasters, those companies are run by MBAs and chartered accountants. All they give a shit about is the bottom line and the share price, right? And they don't know, they're not professional broadcasters. And radio, when it was run by when the companies were owned, the radio stations were owned by broadcast families, like the Waters family owned the Chum chain, and the Slate family owned the Standard chain, and the Rogers family owned the Rogers chain. Those people, the Slates and the Waterses and the Rogerses were professional broadcasters, right? And they understood that there's a creative end of the business and there's a business end of the business, and they nurture each other, right? And then they sold to the big telecom corporations.
Which you can't blame them for.
Well, no. If somebody comes along to me and says, "Here's $1 billion," yeah, okay, thanks, see ya.
But you're a businessman.
Yeah.
You build your thing and you're selling it, and that's how it goes.
Yeah, but these companies like Bell have driven the business into the ground, and let me find Terry's post, because he summed it up very, very nicely. The bottom line is you don't have broadcasters running the broadcast business anymore, and the business suffers accordingly.
I have a question, and this is purely like a curiosity question. How would radio be able to compete with podcasts in this day and age? Let's say they weren't owned by the big corporations. What could they do differently than podcasts?
Well, you play to what radio's strengths have always been, which to me is intimate, immediate, and local. You relate to your audience on a local level, in the moment.
But you don't think, Ted, that there's a deadline at the end of the day? Because how many people are actually listening to the radio?
There are still a lot of people who listen to,
because everything is transitioning to mobile. Everyone is on different platforms. I think there's podcasting is growing, but they have their mobile platform as well. You can listen to the radio channels, to Bell Media channels on your phone, on the go kind of thing.
Yeah. So you can listen online.
So they made that move, but I don't know.
When TV was introduced, everybody went, "That's it, radio's dead. TV's going to wipe out radio."
Right.
Remember the song back in the 80s, "Video killed the radio star"? Yeah. And yet radio survives. It has to adapt. The radio has a smaller share of the market than it had before. But this is what Terry said, and this is perfect. He said, "Reminds me of the time we bought a string of butcher shops and fired all the butchers, and it didn't go well. We decided butcher shops were not a viable business anymore."
Right. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, because that's what they did. They bought up these companies and they fired a bunch of the best broadcasters.
The sad thing and this is where it brings into the politics, because a huge corporation making changes like this, anyone can understand. Something changes, they're readapting, they have to cut off, their shareholders that need to be satisfied. But in Bell's case, they got over $40 million from the government last year. I think it was in April or May of last year. And you turn around and you're like, there
What was that 40 million for?
It was, an annual regulatory relief. So basically, it's just the government trying to save an industry that is suffering, right? Like they're doing with newspapers, and they're injecting millions of dollars to help them survive. But what are you doing with this $40 million? Is there any oversight on how it's being spent? And that's the other problem with the government. They don't know any better. You think anyone over at the government knows how to run a radio broadcasting corporation?
Yeah. I'll bet you a lot of that 40 million made its way into bonus checks for executives.
Probably.
Yeah,
probably.
Because when you cut 4,800 jobs as an executive or an executive team, then you're saving a lot of money. And when executives, when they save money, they get bonus, right? So these guys are making bonus off of destroying the livelihoods of other people. And, I guess that's capitalism and the free market, isn't it? But that doesn't make it right. It's ethically and morally despicable.
And on top of that, you're seeing the government investing $40 million. And then when you're looking at the numbers, okay, last year, Bell Media, so Bell Media, the parent company is BCE, obviously, right? And that's trading publicly. They made, this year they made a total of $6.7 billion.
Is that revenue?
Revenue.
Okay, but what's the profit on that?
Well, you're $1 billion company, though, man. I mean, just
a multi-billion-dollar company.
Absolutely.
That's why when I heard that $40 million figure, I went, like I literally thought, 40 million, that's not much.
Compared to what they make, it's fucking peanuts.
Yeah.
But they're making, because this 6.7 billion, and that's up from $6.4 billion that they made last year. So the revenue is increasing. What's the problem? Like, I mean,
that's not BCE. That's Bell Media revenue.
No, that's BCE.
Oh, okay.
So obviously that's the parent company, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know what the profit is, but when you're making $6 billion, you can imagine somewhere along the line that you can manage it in a more profitable manner, not to fire 4,800 people. Like, I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. And then Justin Trudeau coming out and calling it despicable, and I can't believe they're doing this.
That's a virtue
you
signal.
You give him fucking money, man.
Yeah.
Like, how about you go back to think about what you did? You're trying to save a dying industry, and you're the last one that knows how it even works. So, in any case, it's very sad to see. And I follow Terry as well, and he tweeted some former colleague of his, I think, out in Ottawa, that lost his job, and he's not the only one. I mean, there's many out there, and it just sucks. It sucks because there are people like you, for example, that I follow, and Freeway Frank, that have been sounding the alarm for years that it doesn't fucking work. These guys don't know what they're doing. They're driving this industry into the fucking ground. And instead of actually looking into this, the government was supporting them, right? So it's not going very well for Justin Trudeau lately, is it? Did you guys hear about the ArriveCan app that we all had to download if you were traveling, because you had to scan in order to leave and to come back into the country, and it was supposed to cost $60,000,
and it ended up costing $60 million or something.
$60 million for an application on the fucking phone.
So what is that? Is that 1,000 times what it was supposed to cost?
Is it? Yeah. Right? 60,
or 100 times?
One,
whatever
two, No, it's 1,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it 1, 2? Yeah, 1,000 times.
Stupid math.
Fucking zeros.
Anyway, way more than it was supposed to cost.
Yeah. How does that even happen?
I don't know.
Like, who even uses that app anymore? I thought the ArriveCan was there temporarily in order to control people from coming and leaving, so that we can make sure that everyone was vaccinated. But we don't give a fuck anymore. So why is that app still why is it still there?
And to me, that just reeks of corruption. Like, if something that was supposed to cost 60,000 ended up costing 60 million, who got that 60 million?
Exactly. Exactly. Not only that, why is the government still funding that for upgrades or whatever? I don't know what they're doing to that, and they need that money when nobody is using that app anymore. You don't need it to leave the country. You don't need it to come back into the country. Why are we still funding this app to begin with? When were the measures lifted? Early last year, I think, or mid last year? No. In 22, when were the measures dropped?
I don't know. I stopped paying attention to COVID a long time
me too.
ago.
Anyways, it's a mess.
That never happened.
Yeah, it never happened. No, but it's a mess. And the reason, and nobody would have known about this had it not been for the Auditor General, who came out and said, listen, guys, I don't even have an idea. I'm estimating it at $60 million. But I don't know because it's so messed up in there. There's zero documentation. There's no trail of anything. So money is just being thrown out the fucking windows to the point where the Auditor General can't even keep track of what it really has costed the Canadians. How messed up is that for an application?
By the way, Captain YOLO dropped 10 gigantic ones.
Thank you,
in
Captain
the Super
YOLO.
Chat. $10 reduce. He goes, I remember listening to Q92.5 Montreal and Mix 96 for school closure notices and other important info back in the day. Also, the commercial jingles like the iconic Morelatos advert. Sad face.
Morelatos. How did those spots go? I remember...
The kids ruined everything I heard.
If you like Morelato, it's a feeling. It's like taking a trip far away.
Morelatos.
What I remember is Arahova, stop, number one, Souvlaki.
Oh, Morelatos, yeah. They still exist, no Morelatos?
No, they're out of business.
Everything closed, all of them?
Yeah, I think so. Hold on, let
I
me
know
check.
the one in Ville Saint Laurent or New Bordeaux, wherever the hell, Cartierville, that one closed. It flooded, I think, and they never reopened. But the one
flooded.
No, that's true. It was a couple years ago with those major floods in the west. But yeah, the one downtown. There was one on St. Catherine Street.
Now there's Atlantis.
I don't know.
Yeah, they're all, even the ones in the States, they're all permanently closed. Wow.
Did they sell or?
I think they sold, but apparently the kids. Now, if you want a Greek market, I'm giving free advertisement here. But or Atlantic.
Adonis is still open, right?
Adonis is the
Isn't
best.
there? Yeah, there's one on the West Island, I think. Not
Yeah,
far from
but
me.
they're Lebanese posing as Greeks. It's not
Is
the
that
same.
right?
They're not Greek.
Is that
no.
true?
Yeah, they're yeah. No, but they're very good. They have quality stuff. I love Adonis.
Yeah, Supermarché Atlantis. There's it's got like all kinds of like Greek stuff. Apparently, it's very good.
But that's in Laval, no?
That's in Laval, yeah. Allegedly, there's not a free ad.
Number one, stop.
Arachova has the best tzatziki that I've ever eaten.
Yeah?
Oh my goodness. I think they sell it supermarkets. Like it's their own brand of.
Is that right?
Well, everything looks actually really good here. I might actually go.
Do it.
We're talking about going to Marvin's after the show next week. Poseidon.
You know what? I'm in.
it.
Let's go.
You know what we should do? We should throw the invitation out there. Whoever wants to join us, whoever's listening, and they want to come by at Marvin's, free publicity for Marvin's.
We'll have a morning show. I was going to say
Meetup.
breakfast, but it'll be lunchtime.
That's a bad idea.
Why? Who cares? Let them come. It's a free world.
Maybe there are some good-looking women who
When I eat
Watch.
and I am interrupted, I get very violent.
No, man. These are your fans. They love you. They're coming to say hi.
No,
They
I
wanna take a
understand,
little
and I have
pic.
nothing against that. But when I am eating and I am interrupted in my feast, I get incredibly violent.
Come on, man. Yeah, we'll confirm again. But yeah, cool, man. If you guys are free next Thursday, yeah, let's go to Marvin's.
Yeah.
And the invitation's open to everyone that wants to come and say hi and have a nice little lunch at Marvin's.
Yeah.
I haven't been there for a while. He told me in the car ride that he hasn't been there for 15 years. I thought,
Yeah,
okay,
it's
a
been a
while.
long
You haven't
time.
gone for a
Yeah,
couple
we're
years.
gonna go.
but-
We're gonna go next week. We're gonna go.
Just a word of warning, though. I'm like at my age now. Like I don't eat as well as I used to. I know you've heard this story because I told it on the Standing By podcast. I have this very, very pretty friend named Maxine, and I was talking to her one day, and I said, sometimes now when I'm eating, food falls out of my mouth. And
I can't control it.
And she said, I know.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't want to tell you, but yeah, now that you mention it,
I've seen it.
oh, that's so fucking funny. yeah.
I haven't had their gyro in a while, actually.
Marvin's has great food, amazing portions.
It's the prices I remember for like the bang for the buck.
Oh, yeah,
like the
yeah.
food is so good.
Yeah.
And I remember getting the bill and going, really? That's it?
Yeah.
Like for steak and calamari, that's it?
Yeah, but that was always the staple of Greek restaurants. It was the price. It was like reasonable, and the amount of food that you got was crazy. I remember in high school there was these two chicks I was trying to bang, and I took them both out to Nostos
At the same time?
Yeah, at the same time. And then there was this one girl that was only used to eating like La Belle Provence and McDonald's, like just fat food. Fat food. Well, it may as well be fat food. And then after I brought her to this Greek place and we ate, she saw the amount of food, and then she saw the bill, and she was like, "That's it? What?" And I got her hooked.
Yeah. And did you bang her?
No, she got hooked on a different kind of souvlaki.
She went for the other stick.
Yeah, she went for the other steak, unfortunately.
Okay, yeah. So let's do that, man. That'll be fun. We'll all go eat. Speaking of that industry, there's an article that came out. When was it? This week. The SAQ, our regulated alcohol industry. They announced that they're going to be raising their prices because they want to grow their margins, and that has brought back that whole debate about deregulating the SAQ in Quebec. And is it maybe something that we should do like it is in Ontario? Just let anyone. You wanna run a liquor store or whatever. Why is it only the SAQ? Why can't we have different private?
Privatize it.
Yeah.
As soon as they legalize that, I'm opening up a liquor store.
No, but what they can do is because you don't want them to just sell anything, so the SAQ can kind of give you the okay, like just to control what is being sold. They can't just put anything in a bottle and sell it, kind of thing. But it's not theirs, right? It's.
I have an idea for this actually.
Poseidon's bathtub gin.
Oh, you get pregnant, even if you're a man.
Yeah, like it meets
it's that good.
It meets certain criteria, certain government regulation in order for it to be sold. But then,
I think the way they do this,
it's private.
If they want to maintain control, like they always have, I think the way to go by this is to allow people to open up liquor stores and sell their own booze, but the supplier has to be the SAC. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
So people are going to make a profit, but they have to make it fair, though. Like they have to really sell at a wholesale price to these independent liquor stores that open up. Let's say you have it, but this would be amazing if they do this. This would be amazing for dépanneurs, let's say, because dépanneurs, it's not really been a viable business. People kind of live in it and never does too well. But this would, if you could buy vodka at 11 p.m., and the SAC closes at 9. I think this would be a good thing.
But they already do sell alcohol, no? The depths?
Yeah, but only wine.
Wine and beer.
Wine and beer, that's it. I'm talking about actual liquor. You can't buy actual liquor.
Hard liquor, yeah.
Yeah, liquor. Or they only have certain kinds of beers. It's a bit, yeah. So...
how much? Check to see the revenue that the SAQ makes. I think it's a little over $1 billion.
Revenue or profit?
Revenue, the SAQ revenue. I think it's a little over $1 billion. I could be wrong, man. I don't know, but it's not that significant to the point where the government should keep the control over it, right?
Well, $1 billion is a lot of money, bro. So in 2023, from 2022. To 2023 fiscal year with net income of 1.426 billion.
1.4, that's it, yeah.
But how much was their profit after paying everything? It just says net income.
Yeah. Well, net
Yeah, it doesn't say like after paying employees, after.
Well, that's what it is. Net income is after, it's your net.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's a lot. Oh, wow. Yeah, they did $4 billion in sales. Wow. That's impressive.
So I don't know. I mean,
When you get a chance, Poseidon, I just emailed you a couple of pictures of. I'm coming up on 27 years sober, right? If I can cobble together 2 more weeks, I'll have 27 years. But
Nice.
if I ever go back out and start drinking again, I have found the two. My 2 liquors, my 2 alcohols of choice.
oh, let's see.
And yeah,
Can't wait to see.
yeah, they look fucking great, man. They really look good.
Hold on. Don't react to them yet because I got to bring them up for people.
Yeah. There's
Hold
one
on.
My friend Simon took that picture when he was down in Belize. This one, I don't know where this came from. Yeah.
So,
Can people see it yet?
yes, they could see it.
Magical penis wine.
That's
what
amazing.
What the fuck is that?
I'm surprised these guys actually sell.
This is Asian,
You would
right?
fucking buy this?
Oh, I'm just kidding.
I know that. I know that.
I don't want any.
And this isn't Photoshopped, right? This is an actual bottle.
I think so. I should have taken the time actually to. I'll Google
Magical
it and
penis
see what
wine.
It is magical penis.
But what does this do? Does it give you?
I don't know if it's the wine that's magical or if it's wine that comes from a magical penis.
But this, yes. Well, this is what raises more questions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Does it
Where is
affect?
this magical penis?
Does it affect your penis? Is it made with penis, or is
This
it made with
this I
a
don't
penis?
know. I'll see if I can find it. The other one. It's Chinese.
Yeah, it says it here. Guan.
There's Chinese and their penises.
Yeah, magical penis wine. It's a syrup, according to Reddit. It's got to be true. But it's Oh, you know what it is? Apparently, it's like it's a liquid version of like Viagra.
Oh, okay. That makes
Syrup that
sense.
makes your male reproductive function better.
Oh wow.
Okay.
It makes your penis magical. So there's the answer. It's not wine made from a magical penis. It's wine that makes your penis magical.
Yeah.
My friend Simon was just in Belize.
Big titty rum.
And he took this picture. Big titty rum.
Premium. It's premium rum.
Ask for big titty rum. Give me a big titty and Coke, would you? Leave the bottle.
Oh my God.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah, we should have this stuff here, man. We should be able to. And, you know, they have over the years loosened up a little bit, and they allow different small regional private beer producers, and like there's a lot of local IPAs that are being brewed here in Quebec, which is nice. But we should do more. I think we should open it up, man. I mean, I don't understand this regulation thing in Quebec. I get that. Like, look for example, like Hydro-Quebec. It's regulated. I get it, and the advantage for us as shareholders, because that's what we are basically. The benefit for us is that we have some of the cheapest rates.
It's crazy
in North America.
Yeah, compared to Ontario. Apparently in Ontario they get fucking raped on their hydro.
On that front, I get it. That's fine. But the alcohol, are we really that much cheaper?
I think we're more expensive.
So then what the hell is the point? The government's the government's making money, but you're not really, we're not really benefiting from any of this. And we have so many other products that we can't even have because it's controlled, right?
So I have a question.
You know how many guys that I know drive over to Hawkesbury or Ottawa or whatever
To buy their booze?
Yeah, they bring other
Yeah.
wines over here.
Yeah, I don't like
Hydro-Quebec makes sense to me. Keep it regulated.
Yeah.
Control it. You produce it. You sell it. We benefit from a very low fucking rate.
No, we still get rattled.
Dude, no. Go live somewhere else. You have different businesses selling alcohol. You're still making money off that. You're still taxing it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't give it any thought because I've only gone to the liquor store twice in the last 27 years, and both times it was to pick something up for somebody else.
Yeah.
It was like going to Disney World, but not going on the rides.
On the rides, yeah.
Because I knew they'd make me puke.
Yeah.
They look good. That looks like fun. Probably make me puke though.
But it's good though. You've reached the point though where you have that self-control now, where it doesn't bother you. Like I could be drinking in front of you.
Yeah, it's not even control. I just don't even think about it.
Right,
I don't even think about it. Yeah, like
That's a good thing.
On a hot summer day, we could go to a terrace somewhere, and you could be sitting there drinking a beer or a glass of white wine with that one drop running down the side of the glass.
And that doesn't do anything to you.
I love to tell that story at AA meetings.
Everyone is like,
you see the people who don't have solid sobriety yet when you talk about that one drop running down the side of the glass, and they're like, like it's mean. I shouldn't do that, right? I shouldn't do that, but I do it just for fun because I'm a cocksucker.
And you're just having your Perry.
Yeah, but it doesn't bother me.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, when I tried to quit drinking on my own before I went to AA and did the 12 steps, that would have bothered the shit out of me. I would Jones over not being able to drink.
Yeah,
But that's the 12 steps, they work, and that's the reason that they are also applied to other things. Overeating, cocaine, whatever. I guess they call it a spiritual solution. Mm-hmm. So works for me. Anyway, it has so far.
That's good.
Yeah,
very good. Let's talk.
Yeah, that big titty looks pretty good.
Yeah, the big titties do look good. Yeah, they must taste good. I want to talk a little bit, and you send me that link, but I also want to talk about it as well with the demonstrations, and we've spoken about that in past episodes as well. The nonsense of it all, right? The pro-Hamas or pro-Palestinian demonstrations. And again, I have nothing against people demonstrating. I do have something about people supporting Hamas that fucks me up. There's something inside me.
They're terrorists. And
it just doesn't add up in my mind.
Brutal, savage murderers.
You can support Palestine and you can support their cause because what's happening is disastrous. But to be out there in support of Hamas, to me, makes absolutely no sense. And the demonstrations are obviously continuing. And it's so frustrating that they are targeting Jewish institutions.
And this week they targeted Mount Sinai Hospital in Toronto, which is a Jewish hospital, but it doesn't just serve the Jewish community. It serves the community at large, just like the Jewish General does in Montreal. Exactly. That's where I go for any time I need any medical care. I go to the Jewish because it's the best hospital. But there was a demonstration outside Mount Sinai Hospital. Was it this week or last week or over the weekend? Anyway, within the last few days. Yeah. And they blocked access to the hospital, and that's against the law. You can't do that. You can't block access to a hospital. And, and then somebody scaled the side of the hospital and hung the Palestinian flag. And again, Trudeau, just as he did with the Bell thing, with the Bell media layoffs, he came out with his faux outrage, right? This is despicable and unacceptable, but he doesn't do anything about it, right? Just as the same as he did with Bell. These layoffs it's so performative. Yeah. And he must not have been a very good drama teacher because he's a bad actor.
Yeah.
Well, that's why he became prime minister.
I heard a story of
this is I didn't even watch footage of this. This is crazy.
Hospital, which has deep roots in the city's Jewish community.
Yeah, by all means, have your protests, but don't block access to a hospital. And why are you targeting Mount Sinai Hospital? You're targeting it because it's Jewish, which has political leaders. It's not Israeli. It's not an Israeli hospital. Yeah. It's a Canadian Jewish-founded hospital.
I have a question for these protesters. Sorry, I just cut you off.
No, it's fine.
But I have actually a very valid question. Let's say one of these protesters, let's say it wasn't a violent crime. Let's say they fell. Let's say they fell and broke their leg, or I don't know, they fell and they need to be rushed to the hospital because they're gonna die.
Well, they're right there, so they can just walk.
No. But I'm just saying they're not at the protest. But one of these people, this is the nearest hospital, and their life is in imminent danger, and that if they don't act fast, they will die. Would they say, no, don't bring me to this hospital? Do you guys think they would say that?
Of course not. They'd rush right in.
Yeah.
So they're all hypocrites.
Yeah. No, it's
And
crazy.
you know that the hospital would take care of them.
Yes. But how does this help? I'm curious. How does this
It
help?
doesn't. That's the argument that we had a couple episodes ago, where they were in front of a Jewish cafe. I can't remember where, and they were banging on the windows, and people were trying to have a coffee inside, and just what are you doing? Or when they marched into Zara, how is this action going to resolve the problem in Israel? Like, it won't. So fuck off. Stop being idiots. If you want to demonstrate, go in front of the parliament. That's where change can actually happen, or in front of your city hall, or in front of the provincial parliament over there.
But Zara was the dumbest one. Did we talk about it, Ted?
Yeah, we did. But it is freaking ridiculous, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating that nothing is being done. It's frustrating.
And you can't say that protesting against Israel isn't anti-Semitic, because we're protesting against Israel, not against the Jewish people. But then when you're protesting outside a Jewish hospital in Toronto that has nothing to do with Israel, then it is anti-Semitic.
Yeah. No, it's
All I have to say is one day you're going to land on that one lunatic that has to bring his family member to the hospital, and he won't care, and he won't stop the car to get into the ER.
I read a story. It was, I think, a journalist who was publishing it with the okay of the actual nurse that lived so this is that moment over there. There was a nurse that was leaving the hospital to go home after her shift, and they weren't letting her leave. They had blocked.
That was part of that demonstration at Mount
So
Sinai.
she tried to leave the hospital. They blocked her from leaving, and they were asking her to honk in support.
Yeah.
And she just wanted to go home.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing? Honk in support? Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
I want to go home. The poor lady probably did like 20-hour shift or something. Who knows? And they weren't letting her, and they came rowdy. And there was a cop, and she told him, can you do something? And there were only two, apparently. And they're like, look, we understand it's the situation, but there's nothing we can do. We're
Only two cops, yeah.
Two cops.
God damn.
Yeah, nothing we can do because there's not enough.
Two cops.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? Bring your riot police. Control the situation. Open the lane for the ambulances to come and go. Provide access to the hospital.
Also, there might only be two of you, but you're the cops.
But at the same time, what are you going to do? It's kind of like that situation in the mall where the guy was threatening the cop. And he's like, I'll put you 6 feet deep. Finally, they found that guy, eh?
Yeah. He was charged, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't know where it is at now.
Yeah.
I guess it's before the courts.
But what do you want the cops to do when you have a mob of protesters walking into a mall that one little action that you can do to provoke them can turn to fucking chaos, and you have other innocent people there shopping. It was Christmas time as well, I remember. So, you have to have that presence of mind not to do something stupid, because you have no idea how these guys are going to react. But it's the same thing. I mean, how many were there? There weren't that many. So they're just there watching these people walk through and bother everyone else, hoping that it doesn't resort to violence or it doesn't fucking go off the rails,
Yeah, there are also scenarios that harken back to the 1930s and 40s. For anyone who knows history, pre and during World War II, there was a ski shop in Davos, Switzerland, that put up a sign saying that Jews are no longer allowed to rent skis and sleds here, which is like the no Jews thing, right? Like, that's crazy. That's right straight out of, pre-war Nazi Germany.
Yeah.
Jews,
you sent this.
Jews can't rent skis or sleds because they don't return them. Those Jews.
It's so stupid.
You can, like, if you had said that a year ago, or done that a year ago, people would have gone, what's the matter with you? That's anti-Semitic. You can't do that. That's racist. It's bigoted. But you can get away with it now.
You know what? The
this is in Switzerland.
Yeah. They've since relented. The ski shop has since relented, but they did put up a sign saying Jews are forbidden from renting skis and sleds.
I'm glad to say at least they're no longer neutral.
No, but the thing is, this is the most problematic thing to me. We obviously didn't live in that era when, these persecutions were happening towards the Jews.
And those things even happened, just if I can interrupt for a second, post-war, those things were going on in Quebec. Mm-hmm. No Jews were, at certain social clubs, golf clubs, whatever, no Jews allowed.
if you go back to back in history and realize what they've been through, right? And if you take that window between 1930 and let's say 1945, 50ish, those 20 years where all these things were happening all over the world, and now all these decades later, we learn in our history books that these were atrocious things that were happening to Jews all over the world, and you would think, while studying this in school, that wow, fuck, thank God we're past that, right? Thank God we're never going back there again, right? And yet it's happening now. And to me, that is the one thing that I just cannot comprehend. I never in my life imagined that we'd be sitting in 2023, 24 or whatever, even 5 years ago, 10 years ago, talking about stuff like that.
Yeah, and the justification for it is Israel is committing genocide against the Palestinians.
Yeah.
That's the justification for anti-Semitism. It's not anti-Semitism, it's anti-Israel.
Yeah.
I don't know, no Jews allowed sounds pretty anti-Semitic to me.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, man. It's a messed up situation.
I mean, if anything, it's a dumb move. You know what I mean? It's a community with a lot of money, so your business, you're shutting your business out to potentially a lot of money.
Ah, jeez.
I was trying to make a dumb joke there and it fell flat. I'm sorry.
You're saying because the Jews are rich?
Yeah.
I want to talk to you guys about stuff that's happening here in Quebec. Hold on a second. By the way, last week we spoke about Tucker Carlson interviewing Putin.
Yes.
It hadn't happened.
Did you watch it?
I haven't watched it. Did you watch it?
I watched like the first hour or so. It was really boring.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that it was boring. It was that I guess I wasn't focused. And it started off with like a half-hour history lesson. Putin giving a half-hour history lesson on the history of Russia as part of his justification for invading Ukraine.
Right.
And I just, like, he went way too deep. Give me the last 20 years, but he's like, and then in 800 AD, it was fuck, man.
Yeah.
But it was, it was all part of his messaging, right? I found it to be boring, but again, that's because maybe I'm just not that interested in Russian history. Also, the fact that everything you heard from Putin was through a translator, so you don't pick up on you don't pick up on the nuances. It's like it would have been more interesting if I spoke and understood Russian. I'm sure I would have found it more interesting.
Right.
And I wouldn't necessarily say Tucker Carlson was a lapdog, but he didn't appear to me to be very challenging towards Putin. Certainly not to the extent that the anti-Tucker and anti-Putin crowd wanted him. They felt I thought that he played into their hands a little bit by not being more aggressive than he could have been, from what I saw.
Yeah.
From what I saw.
Yeah. I mean, at the same time, he got an interview with Putin.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? But all this to say, and because I remember last week we were talking about how, he knows what he's doing. He's doing this. He wants the views. He wants the visibility.
Carlson? Of course he does. He's a smart guy.
And once that interview happened, I heard a couple comments here and there, and then everyone forgot about it. Nobody's fucking talking about Carlson's interview with Trump now, with Putin. So,
and what that says to me is that he did a good job, because if he had fucked it up, you better believe that the anti-Tucker crowd, which is very vocal on social media, if he'd fucked it up, they would be all over it, screaming to the heavens.
Yeah.
And they're not. So it says to me that maybe he did a good job because they're not talking about it. They want to just brush it off to the side. The same night that interview aired, Biden held a press conference. Right? Almost at the same time, I believe, almost as sort of a diversionary.
Was that the press conference
tactic.
just to tell people that I'm doing fine and I don't have mental issues?
Yeah. And the media, which normally treats him with kid gloves, they went hard after him at that news conference. And a lot of people interpreted that as the forces behind the scenes have decided, this guy's not going to win the election. He's not capable, so it's open season. Go get him, expose him so that we can get a candidate in there who's who's not walking around going, "What day is it?" And
He's not
has a
okay.
shot.
He's
He's not
fucking okay.
He's not.
He's not okay. He's not okay. What worries me is that they're running out of time, and their reflex would be, you know what? At this point, the VP is going to run for president.
Yeah, but she's dumber than a box
She's
of rocks.
horrible. And there was an article, I think yesterday or before yesterday, I can't remember which newspaper. And the headline is her quote saying, "I am ready to serve my country." Right? I think they asked her about potentially serving as a president in, under all these things that are coming out now about his ability to lead and Biden's, mental health and, all that stuff. And she apparently said, yeah, I'm ready to serve no matter what, no matter when. I hope that's not, the
They got to do better.
Democrats
They got
kind
to
of
do
preparing
better
the
than her.
ground.
They got to do better than her.
But who else do they have?
well,
Gavin
that's-
Newsom from California. You think he's better?
I don't know. I don't know enough
He's
about
younger.
him. Yeah.
There's like
Yeah.
okay, I get it. He's a sharp guy, but he's the fucking. Have you seen what's happening in California?
Yeah.
It's fucking horrible. So I don't know what the hell's happening. And at the same time, Nikki Haley is playing into the exact same arguments against Trump that he's not okay either. He's confusing things, and they're finding clips of him referring to her about these meetings that he had, and she wasn't even there. And maybe it's just Trump blabbing, but I don't know. So she's trying to play into that as well.
Yeah. Well, it's too. Jon Stewart, who's back as host of The Daily Show, said I saw a clip of him the other day. It was very funny. He was talking about how at the age of Trump's 77, Biden is 80. Is he 80?
Probably.
He said they're the two oldest candidates ever to run for U.S. president, breaking the record set by them. 4 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, it's so funny.
Yeah, he's great. I'm not necessarily on the same page as him ideologically, but he's
great over there.
Smart and funny. I love him. Yeah, I love watching.
And they just brought him back now for the campaign, right? That's going to be so entertaining. That show. Oh man, they're gonna do well over there. But you saw Trump, what he came out and said about NATO. And it alarmed all the NATO alliance members because following that interview that Tucker Carlson gave and, the whole justification about Russia attacking Ukraine or on whatever grounds. And there's a whole argument now coming back to the fact that a lot of the NATO member countries aren't really paying their dues as they're supposed to. They're supposed to be paying, I think, 2% of their budget has to go into military.
He was arguing that when he was president.
Exactly. And he had applied a lot of pressure, and rightfully so, because it's such a disproportionately unfair that the U.S. is contributing way more than any other country. To a certain degree, okay, you can understand it's a much bigger country, much bigger economy, much bigger industry, right? So you can get why they're there. Plus, the U.S. is making a lot of money because all these other countries that are joining the alliance, where do you think they're getting their arms from, right? So it's the U.S. providing this, the weaponry to these countries, which is also the argument why they want these countries to be spending more, right? Because it's a great market for them to be selling.
Money in their pocket,
exactly. But at the end of the day, if the whole point of this alliance is to create this kind of shield to better defend ourselves, then everyone has to fucking contribute, right? Yep. Canada among them as well, by the way, which they've been falling way short on that contribution. So he was asked the question about Russia attacking potentially in the future any NATO allies. And Trump is like, you know what? Fuck yeah! Russia could do whatever the hell it wants. Who are we to who am I to tell them what to do? And in fact, maybe he should. Maybe that will make them wake up and contribute the way they should to NATO.
He said maybe they should attack a NATO country.
That's what, and everybody's like, what the fuck are you talking about? He said that I don't care what Russia does. They can do whatever they want. Maybe the NATO allies will finally wake up to realize that they should be paying their dues. And it's crazy because this is coming from the guy that could potentially be leading the U.S. again, right?
Yeah.
And NATO is the biggest defense alliance in the world, I think. Yeah, it is. It has to be. And the person leading that alliance just went public and said, you know what? Fuck that shit, man. Attack these bullshit countries. Fuck, I don't care. Maybe they'll wake up and spend what they should. That's crazy.
Yeah, and they could come up over top and attack us.
Yeah. I mean, considering everything, I mean, we're very lucky.
Yeah.
I mean, the only country that could potentially do that is Russia, because they're the closest one, right? And I don't think they would ever do that. Again, you never know. But imagine living like in Poland or in the
Right next door.
or in the Baltic states like
Yeah.
Estonia, Latvia, or Lithuania.
Are those countries NATO countries?
Yeah, the Baltic states are. Now
Is Poland?
Poland is, yeah.
Yeah.
Poland is. And now the most recent ones are Finland and Sweden. Mm-hmm. And they're
The Russians and the Finns don't like each other.
of course not. And I mean, the threat is right there as well, right? They share a border.
Yeah.
So imagine being one of those countries today or in the last 2-3 years. You're fucking shitting bricks. You know, so no wonder everyone wants to join the alliance. They're thinking, "Fuck, man, we don't want to alarm anyone." So then the EU comes into play. They're like, "You know what? Fuck it. We'll just try to do it through the EU. Then we'll protect you through the European Union, and you'll be part of the Euro defense program." Like, there's all these things now. There's panic everywhere in the Eastern European countries.
Yeah. I don't get the impression, though, that Putin wants war. I think he just wants to secure Russia. I don't think he's expansionist minded, and I think the reason that he attacked Ukraine was because of his perception of it being of Ukraine joining NATO and having NATO right on his doorstep.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think he's looking to.
But at the same time, nobody has ever attacked Russia for all these years. Even if they're expanding eastward, I think he's smart enough to know that nobody's going to attack
No, I know
Russia.
that, but he just doesn't like the idea of NATO being right up on his border the same way that the United States would not want
there's
Chinese forces along the Mexican border, right?
Yeah. There's two arguments, well, or China controlling the Pacific.
Yeah.
Right? There's two arguments to that. One is Ukraine is an independent country and they can do whatever the fuck they want. And if they want to join NATO, they're more than free to apply. And the other argument is, hello, we have an agreement that you wouldn't have advanced past this line. I don't know where that line was. And you're breaking that agreement. Now, by the fact that NATO is expanding when they shouldn't be because they had that agreement with Russia, does that mean necessarily that, well, you know, it's open season then and I'm going to move in and invade Ukraine? No, dude, you can't fucking invade a sovereign country. So I think there's arguments on both sides. What's happening, unfortunately, people are fucking suffering.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
I heard, I was listening to a podcast the other day, and it was a credible podcast. I don't remember which one it was, but apparently, from what they were saying, 400,000 Ukrainians have died in that war so far. That's more than the entire death toll of the United States military in World War II. In how long?
Wait, how many?
400,000.
Oh, I heard 4,000.
No, 400,000. The Americans lost about 350,000 in World War II over a period of
5 years.
4 years.
Right.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So it's, that tells you about
But even the Russians have a high death toll as well. And the Russians have been losing a lot of arsenal. Like a lot of their tanks have been bombed. I don't know, man. Depending on where you get your sources, I'm open-minded enough to believe that the news we're getting here in the western part of the world is more in favor of Ukraine. So with news,
100%.
So the news we're getting is like, we're destroying Russia. The money is being put to good use, and we've destroyed, I don't know, a third of their tank fleet or whatever. We need more air support, blah, blah, blah. But, I think that if you go more into Eastern Europe, you get probably different sources coming in.
That's what I like about podcasts and independent media. You can go to multiple sources and get multiple perspectives and then make up your own mind.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe everything the mainstream media tells me anymore. For sure I don't.
I can't remember which war journalist I was listening to on a podcast. I think it was on Peter Mansbridge's podcast. He, I think every week he brings this I think he's still there. He's still practicing, and his experiences. He's a war journalist, and he was giving statistics that Ukraine was always considered as an underdog going into this fight, and it's wrong to think that because they were one of the biggest arms sellers in the world, Ukraine. The last years, if you look at the numbers, they haven't sold anything because obviously they're using it, right? But it makes sense. His argument was that it makes sense that there's this kind of resistance coming out of Ukraine because. And this guy,
I didn't see that.
Yeah, and I think we spoke about that on another episode where he was a very popular personality, especially within the military. Very well respected guy. He was an older general, I think, in the army. Like he's very well known, and he was very close to the army and to the troops. And he disagreed with Zelensky on a number of issues. He believed that they should have been covering a lot more ground than they have. So there's a lot of resistance coming in the Russian forces are pushing in, much to his surprise. And so there was a lot of disagreement, and he got rid of him. And there's a lot of analysts right now that are wondering, was that a smart move? Because you just got rid of the guy that was very popular with the military. I don't know who he put there and what repercussions that may have, and if there's going to be the same kind of contact and support from the military, because if your military turns, you got a whole other thing coming.
I want to know who that war correspondent is who was on the Peter Mansbridge podcast, because I want to hear that.
I'll get you his name. I think he has him on every Tuesday.
Yeah, and so this was fairly recently.
No, it was a couple months ago.
Okay.
He was talking about the statistics and the numbers. I'll give you his name right now. Hold on a second.
The name of the podcast is The Bridge.
The Bridge. Yeah, it's The Bridge. I love Peter Mansbridge. I always love Peter Mansbridge. And
he's credible to me.
Yeah, and
he's credible, and he's, I'm sure he has his own ideological beliefs, and he leans a certain way, but I never got watching him do the news. I couldn't read that.
Yeah.
When
you have a journalist, this is how I see things. When you listen to a journalist, or if you've been following a journalist for a while, or you either read the articles or you listen to the reports on TV or on radio, and you don't know how this person votes during an election, that's a good journalist.
Yeah.
And the best example that I always give is Paul Arcand on 98.5, which you said is the most listened to radio station in Canada.
Yep.
I cannot tell you how Paul Arcand votes. I don't know.
And that's amazing because he's a commentator, right? He's not shy with his opinions, right?
At all.
And you still can't tell how he votes.
No,
that's amazing.
Because this guy just bashes you no matter where you are.
Yeah.
He's fair, and these are the kind of journalists that you need to follow. Like Chantal Hébert is another one.
Yeah.
You don't know how the hell she votes. Peter Mansbridge, same thing. Peter Mansbridge has been called a conservative. He's been called a liberal. He's been called an NDP guy. So this, for me, is a sign that you know what you're doing. You're a good journalist.
Yeah.
I don't know
You're
what his
objective.
name.
It's a sign of objectivity.
Exactly. I'd like to get this guy's name before we sign off so that people can go listen to him, but I'm not getting.
Well, you can always go to his podcast. Just go to
go to his
go on your
podcast. It's called
app,
The Bridge with Peter Mansbridge, and if you scroll down, it's either every Tuesday or every Wednesday. So find an episode that he's published on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, and you'll see he's an older man, and fast. 5 seconds. I can't get it.
That's okay because I'm an older man and I have to pee.
Anyway, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you. Thanks for coming by every week to listen to us ramble on and perhaps even bore you with news. But hey, it's the morning show, and that's what we've been asked to do. So happy Valentine's to you all if you're celebrating today, and if you're not, well, it's okay.
Get some.
And I apologize for my homophobia and Islamophobia. I'm sorry, I'm Greek. I can't help it.
For sesame sticks.
Yeah.
Follow the Poseidon. I am Poseidon.com. The Poseidon 60. What is it?
The Poseidon 69. Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Follow me on YouTube. I'm trying to get a 500 subscribers.
Let's do it. Follow this page right here, Pantelis Comedy, or head on over to patreon.com/Pantelis. Get yourself a subscription. You can follow Ted Bird every single morning. He is syndicated, ladies and gentlemen. Now,
Hello. Light 98.5 in Ottawa and Light 106.7 in Hudson, Quebec.
and you can listen to his very own podcast on this channel, Standing By, with his longtime friend, Terry DeMonte. And you can listen to my stuff over at Politiquement Parlant. If you know or understand French, head on over there. We've been having every leader of the political parties here in Quebec. We have one more coming up this week. It's fantastic. The channel has been growing a lot, so thank you all for that support. And have a nice rest of the week. We'll see you next Wednesday. Take care. Bye-bye.